Is the Dark Ages champion worthy of her legendary status? Well, in my opinion, she has an S tier design. I love the design of this skin. I love the mixture of the materials of her clothing. She has chainmail, there's armor, there's leather, and there's cloth, and they're all mixed together very well. Unlike the Dark Ages king, where pretty much all his armor looked exactly the same, the Dark Ages champion is a very well balanced skin. She's not too simple, but she's also not over the top. I also really like the design of her helmet, as well as her shield and her spear. Her selection animation is an 8 out of 10, solid animation. The sound design on this animation is on point with all the creaking, the metal clanks, the fabric, everything just fits together so perfectly. Her pose animation is also 8 out of 10. I especially love the squeaking sound effects for this animation when her helmet is creaking around and going up and down. Excellent animations paired with excellent sound design. Her running animation is pretty standard. It kind of looks like she's speed walking instead of actually running, and whenever Lassie's running next to her, it fits very well because of the metallic look of the champion mixed with the metallic look of Lassie. The only thing that would make it better is if Lassie had some blue instead of pink, or vice versa if the champion had some pink instead of blue. Here's her ability in slow motion. I just think this is so satisfying to show the shield hitting all the buildings in slow motion, and you also get an idea of what the shield looks like because it's hard to tell when you're actually playing with it in game and it's going so fast, bouncing around to buildings. After her ability goes off, her arm is still being held up as if there's a shield there. I'm guessing this is just an animation flaw. They forgot to put her arm down once her shield is gone, or maybe her arm is just stuck like that after holding a shield for so long, who knows. Her knockout animation is pretty standard, but it kind of looks like her helmet is a bit too heavy for her head and it's kind of wobbling abnormally, and then her resting animation is also pretty standard. She has 100% custom animations as we've seen, always great when none of the animations have just been copy and pasted from the default skin. As far as sound effects, she has a custom selection sound effects. She has a custom deployment sound effect, which is really nice. She has a custom attacking sound when she throws her spear, and then when she uses her ability, it is also a custom sound effect, but she does not have a custom knockout sound effect. So overall, her sound effects are pretty complete. As far as visual effects, she doesn't have many. She has custom attack and ability visual effects, but that's just kind of expected because she has a different spear and shield than the default skin. So there's gonna have to be a different visual effect when she throws that shield and when she throws that spear. For her ability, it is a slightly different glow effect around her, but it's actually less than the default skin. So I guess technically it is custom, but it's really not special at all. And she doesn't have any custom visual effects for her selection, deployment, knockout, or her resting, which those things aren't a huge deal, but it would definitely be nice to have. Royal Champion skin animations and effects are never super remarkable. She never really has a lot of personality, and there's also not very much potential for a unique attack animation because she's always just throwing the spear, and it's pretty much always a spear. I know with the party champion and maybe a couple other skins where she didn't have a spear, there was a custom attacking animation, but for the most part, there's never really a special animation for that throwing movement. And she also doesn't spawn any troops like the king and queen do, so there's never really that potential for an extra visual effect to add to a legendary champion skin. To make up for those disadvantages though, I really wish they would go all out with what they do have. There's a lot of her animations that could have had visual effects, and there's also a lot that could have had extra sound effects, improved sound effects, or just not default sound effects. I really think there's a lot of room to bump this skin up to the next level without much effort, and especially they should be doing this for a legendary skin. I think they could have put more effort into her ability animation. It's kind of boring. I don't know, maybe she could have spun around, done something special, and I don't think she has enough visual effects. I think she could have had visual effects for her selection animations, her deployment animations, and her ability animations. For the selection, it doesn't have to be anything special, maybe some sparks when metal hit each other or something. It doesn't have to be a lot. It might be a bit tricky with this skin, but I think there's something they could have done for her selection animation. As far as deployment, Almost all legendary skins have some sort of symbol that pops up on the ground when you deploy them. That's not that hard to do, and it could literally be any symbol. It could be that symbol that's on the Dark Ages Warden and Queen. It could be a shield symbol. It could literally be anything, and it wouldn't be that much effort, and it would just feel more legendary. And then for her ability, just change the color of the visual effect. Like, that's the simplest thing you could do. Sure, make it more complicated, but I wish they would have just done something to make it more legendary. I think she also needs a knockout sound effect. That's just so simple, and someone was obviously in a sound booth recording sound effects already. Why not just do an extra one for the knockout? I just don't feel like legendary champion skins are legendary. There's so much they could do to improve the champion skins, and I don't know why they're not doing it. So overall, this skin has an excellent design, and I do wish she had some better animations, more sound effects and visual effects, but the design is always going to carry the most weight, so I am still going to put her in the S tier. I would recommend buying this skin, and if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe for more skin and scenery videos in Clash of Clans.